Well, guys, we are almost to Wembley freaking Stadium. And they said AEW couldn't sell 80,000 tickets. They said they couldn't fill that stadium. So tonight, we are finally on the road to Wembley. We are on the final stretch. Our boys and gals, we competing in the biggest event over in Europe in a long freaking time for the sport of professional wrestling. So, tonight, we got a great panel joining me tonight to discuss everything Wembley Stadium. First off, we have the most professional podcaster. He has probably one of the best setups in the game. He is everybody's favorite smooth-headed man. Please welcome Zach to the All Elite Zone.
Hey, what's up, guys? Grateful to be here. Had to take some time off. Life threw a few curveballs, tried to knock me down for the 1, 2, 3, but I kicked out at the last second, and I'm grateful to be here with you all. And I can't wait to talk about this pay-per-view. It's going to be amazing.
Well, I'm so glad to have you back, brother. So good that you can come on and talk everything Wembley with us. Next, we have the only Florida man to actually leave Florida and become better. He is everybody's favorite Tennessee bearded wonder, everybody's favorite lovable Adam.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm excited. It just sucks I gotta work during the pay-per-view, so I'm gonna see if I can watch it at work. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that, but I'm gonna try to stream it. So
Just
don't tell my
hide it behind a
boss.
book. Just do it. You just hide it behind a book, Adam. Just be like, I'm
Well,
just studying the manual.
Well, if I'm at a good spot at my work with good reception, I'll just hide it somewhere and be like, all right, I can watch the pay-per-view while I work.
Yeah. When does it actually start? Like, what time is it in the morning? Or is it
like noon?
Shoot.
I think
It starts at like noon.
I'll be working too, so I'll sneak it in for like the last hour of work. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. And finally, we have the Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the Tony Khan, the ringleader of the All Elite Zone podcast. He is also the general manager and owner of the All Elite Zone brand. Please welcome everybody's favorite producer and CM Punk fan, Connor.
Yes, great to be on. It should be a good one. It's the biggest wrestling event of all time. So, and we're living through it. So,
It's so crazy to think that WWE had the opportunity to run a show at Wembley, but turned it down. And now AEW is coming in with 80,000 people.
WWE's got to go to Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about? They got to go to Saudi.
They can keep their blood money.
I wasn't gonna say it, Lane. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, buddy.
Amen to that.
I'm sorry. That's terrible. I'm glad that they're having more culture to wrestling, and I'm happy for them. But
You're not lying.
yeah, don't keep your wrestlers hostage on a plane
Yeah.
while you and Brock Lesnar leave. Sorry. Yeah. But you know what? That's okay. You know what? Wembley is, like I said, this Saturday at time of recording. So tonight we are going to be going through the match card, of course. We're going to go through our predictions. We'll also talk, before we get into our predictions, we're also going to talk about how important this needs to be for AEW. This cannot fail. I don't think it's going to fail. But, there's a lot of momentum going into AEW. Until recently, I think I had a hard time trying to figure out what the card was going to be until the last probably a month. I feel like you had about a decent build up to it. What do you guys think about the build and the card so far?
The Adam Cole and MJF thing was going before they even announced all. Which I feel like that's the one. If they did anything right, that's the feud that they did right. MJF and Adam Cole, that's the feud that they did do very, very well. And as we seen last night, we don't know what's going to happen at All In. Who's going to do what? Is anyone on there? Is anyone going to have backup to call on? Is anyone going to see? We don't know. We saw Roderick Strong's tantrums. Yeah, I think the build up, and like besides, I said it last night, besides MJF and Cole, the second best feud that they've been building towards is Darby and Swerve. I feel like have done a very good job of good storytelling. Like, I know some of their segments is pretty dark for wrestling. Like that makes WWE look like Sesame Street compared to what AEW does. Of course, you got Punk and Joe, but I think the build-up's been it's been very good. It's better than Double or Nothing. I'll say this is probably the best build-up they've had this entire year. Yeah, I'm excited for All In.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I know the big step towards it was the announcement of having it at Wembley. That was the big first. I knew the match card was going to come together sporadically and over a few weeks after they, started selling tickets, because it's that whole build of you're going to see some good matches. Buy these tickets. It's that whole promotional thing. I mean, I've worked in promotions. I've worked in marketing. It's a good marketing plan where we sell these tickets. We keep selling. We try to get it up, the numbers up. We put these matches in, maybe a couple of matches announced. You get more ticket sales. But over the last few weeks, the build of the card, and then obviously from last night's episode of Dynamite, changing of the card helped a little bit. I still don't agree with what happened with AR Fox. They kind of cut that short, I feel like, with him as part of Mogul Embassy, where they could have just said, you messed up, so I'm finding someone to replace you. You're not out of Mogul Embassy, but you're going to be in the corner of the match, and you're going to see what it's like to actually be a team. I would have been okay with that story. But overall, the card looks great. You got some really good matches. You're getting FTR and Young Bucks for a third time. You're getting a stadium stampede in the freaking Wembley Stadium, which is going to be insane. You're getting a great trios match with the Golden Elite versus Bullet Club Gold. And I think last night we discussed it. I think the one match outside of the MJF and Cole match that we're all excited about, for me, after the promos last night, Connor can agree, that Ospreay Jericho match is looking more and more exciting now after that promo in the ring last night. So I honestly am very excited for this card. I'm very excited for AEW. Definitely something that, for a little company that wasn't supposed to make it, I think they're doing okay.
I can't believe a T-shirt company just sold out in 80,000.
Yeah.
So, I'm really, really excited for Saturday. Zach, what about you, man? Like, are you excited for Saturday? What's your thoughts going into Wembley?
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. I was talking with my wife. I'm very grateful. She's into pro wrestling as well. And we were just talking. We're like, you know what? This show is going to be bigger than, or actually, it's going to live up to the hype that every WrestleMania we want it to be. This is going to be that show. Like Adam said, like the card is stacked. I'm super excited. After the storytelling last night on Dynamite, I'm very interested to see if Adam Cole turns heel. This is my prediction. I see Adam Cole turning heel, MJF playing that babyface, or the anti-hero babyface, if you will, for a little bit longer. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I love FTR, so that match is gonna be epic. And then last night with Billy Gunn coming back, got goosebumps. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one as well.
See, I was not able to watch all the way to Dynamite last night, but from the clips I've seen, it really has been a good go-home show for the pay-per-view. So I'm gonna try to watch it probably tomorrow once I get off work. Because, man, like, just watching some of the clips, I was speechless. And then Connor called it last night.
Where did I call this?
Santana and Ortiz, Pride and Powerful, is back. and we'll talk about them later when it comes to the Stadium Stampede.
I
am curious on how that happened. So run me through that last night. So what happened to have Pride and Powerful get added to that match? I was kind of surprised they joined up with Blackpool Combat Club.
It was 6-on-6, but since Phoenix is out, I guess they just made it 5-on-5 because that was unexpected, I guess. But what was it? It was Moxley and Ray Phoenix. Moxley won. After the match, Moxley just kept on laying into him. We just write him off for All In because he can't be there because of visa issues. Then it was basically like I can't remember what all happened, but I know first Ortiz came out. Like saw him, I didn't think it was Ortiz because he was wearing a weird little hat. And
weird little hat.
Yeah, and then we hear some like very different music, and then Santana comes out because this and like they do have history in this feud because Eddie Kingston, and Ortiz had a feud there, and but yeah, I don't get a thank you out of all this. I'm the one who got the rumors started. I'm the one who. Where's my thank you? I'm really glad.
Where's your flowers?
I'm really glad Pride and Powerful back. That was the moment of the night for me. Besides, I don't want to spoil too much because you haven't seen it, but the Jericho and Ospreay promo was
I've
really
seen clips from that. Oh my gosh, what a promo battle!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically after the match, it was a full-on brawl, and then who else came out? It's a BCC segment, so you gotta expect it to be a brawl. But I'm really thrilled that Proud and Powerful is back together.
Me
Hopefully
too.
for good this time.
So I posted before we start talking about the card. I posted in our comment section what match are you guys excited for, and we did get some comments. We have the fabulous Mr. Mike. Mike says, I agree. We were talking about Swerve and Darby. His match that he is excited for is Punk and Joe. That one's going to be a really great match. I cannot wait to discuss how that's going to turn out to be. And then Davis, MJF versus Adam Cole, baby. Really good match. Definitely a great way to end the pay-per-view. Especially if you think about it, too. MJF was the first match of All In. And now he's main eventing as AEW champion. So talk about how things come in full circle. And then Ariana says she agrees with Adam. She is excited for Jericho and Ospreay. So thank you, everybody, for commenting. Keep leaving your comments down below as we discuss who we're going to think is going to win each match coming up and what surprises we'll have in store coming up from Tony Khan's crazy mind. Kid, I shouldn't call him a kid, but he seems like a kid with a giant toy box full of just the best wrestlers in the world. It's a blessing and a curse.
That's how the internet, the IWC and WWE Mark see him as a kid that has toys that he has no idea what to do with. But it's like he understands the business, though. You can't deny that.
Very true. So, what do you guys think about the only match on 0 Hour as time of recording between Aussie Open and MJF and Adam Cole?
Do you
think it's a little too cocky for the main eventers, or do you think some shenanigans will happen?
I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know. That's really unpredictable. I don't know who's gonna. If they win the tag titles, then I wonder what happens in the main event. That's gonna. But I can give you a spoiler if you want another buy-in match or 0 Hour.
You have a spoiler?
Well, it's gonna be announced tomorrow on Collision.
Okay. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait until tomorrow then.
Everyone could probably guess what it is, anyways. So.
Okay. Do you guys want to wait, or do you want Connor to tell the match?
I'm with Connor because I already kind of know the match now too. So.
You know what? Let's break the rules. We're gonna break it down. Connor, what's the match announced or it's gonna be announced tomorrow?
Hook versus Jack Perry for UFTW.
Okay, figured that was coming.
0 Hour.
So
nice.
that one's. I think Hook's got to win that match.
I think Hook has to win that match and then present it to Taz. And
Retire.
Taz needs to just be like, all right, we're done.
It will be the official last person to have that belt.
Yes.
I like to see like a,
Yeah.
a option C thing with that. Like if Hook wins it, like do you guys know what the option C is in like TNA and Impact?
Yeah, so you could trade. So with I do because in Impact they have the X Division title, and with that, the X Division champion has the option C, which is they can relinquish that title for an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship.
I think Hook should do it. It's something similar to that, but Hook going for the TNT championship.
I would love to see Hook as the TNT. I think it's time we get him some love and give him an actual championship.
He's wrestling like he's been in the business for years. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so smooth, so crisp. I love it.
I think next year he'll be on like the top like youngest wrestlers in wrestling, or what that list that MJF was on. I think he'll be listed.
Top 30 under 30.
Yeah, I think he'll be the top of that list next year, or at least close to it.
WWE's already got interest in him. So
yeah, if I was Tony, damn, keep him happy, keep him and Taz happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think? So, do you guys got Hook winning that one?
yeah, I got Hook.
Hook.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
Hook.
sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to the first official match announced. So with Aussie Open and I can't believe it's going to be Adam Cole and MJF tagging. I can't. I think I know it's going to be Aussie Open, but I just can't see how this is going to play out. Unless is Aussie Open feuding with anybody right now? Ring of Honor?
Not really.
So I bet one tag team is going to come out and cost MJF and Adam Cole a victory. And I think they're going to challenge Aussie Open at the next Ring of Honor show. I think you're going to have a small build up right there and have a spark in the Ring of Honor.
It could be the Kingdom.
So I also kind of have an idea of where they can go with it if they go with a conclusion that they think they might kind of like think of it as like a creative idea. I can see MJF and Adam Cole winning the titles, being excited, and they're like, cool, now we get to headline the show as tag team champions for the world title. In the end, I think in the end of the championship match, I don't know who wins, but I see the same outcome no matter what. I see Adam Cole turning heel and MJF turning face, and Roderick coming out and with the Kingdom to gang up on MJF, and seeing Adam Cole take the other Ring of Honor tag title that he won with MJF and hand it to Roderick and say, "You're my new partner now."
I like that idea.
So,
and we'll talk about the Kingdom, of course, when we get to the main event tonight. I feel like the Kingdom's going to play a very big part in this show coming up. It's been interesting in how they booked them behind the scenes with Project Strong, and I've liked that sneaky approach. It's something there. Something's there. So yeah, I agree. I think I don't know. I'm gonna disagree with you on Adam. I think that something's gonna happen that's gonna cause MJF and Adam Cole to lose, and I think that'll fuel anger into tonight's match, where it's gonna put that rift right between the friendship. So I got Aussie Open winning this one.
Yeah, I agree. No, I like that idea, Adam, because like in my mind, I just couldn't conceive a possible reality where MJF and Adam Cole win the title. So I do like that, but I do agree with Lane. I don't think that they're going to win the tag team titles. Something's going to happen, like you said, that it's going to build that story into the main event. And then I may be working a little bit ahead here, but I do see actually MJF winning the main event. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. What about you, Connor? Who do you think?
This one's really tough. As I said at the beginning of the episode, it's hard to who's going to win this. I don't see MJF and Adam Cole winning. I think what they're going to do is like they see how hot this got. So in a few years, they do this again, and MJF and Adam Cole actually winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships. But I don't know. I've heard rumors that Kyle O'Reilly might do something at All In, even though he's not cleared to wrestle, but he could still do like be a manager type thing until he is cleared. There's a lot of different things I could do. Maybe Bobby Fish shows up. You know, I really doubt that, but you never know.
Everybody's got a price, Connor.
Well, where's the lie in that? But
where's the lie?
I got Ozzy Open winning this. I don't know how. Who knows? MJF and Adam Cole might shock the world and actually win them.
Adam's used to shocking the system.
Damn. Yeah.
I love wrestling. It's fun. You know what? I think it's gonna be a fun opening match. I'm excited. So the first official match on the card, like I said, there's no really in any order as time of recording. So the first match that as I'm looking up on Bleacher Report is a trios match with Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi versus Bullet Club, Golden, and Takeshita. This one's an interesting one for sure. I personally think the heels are going to win this one. I think this is where you start seeing Jay White break off and start being a heel leader again. I think this is where he gets credibility back to his name because if you think about it, ever since he's came in, he's had a couple wins, but he hasn't been the Jay White that we've seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, and plus with Takeshita being hot right now, and Juice is just a fun in-ring talent. But really, I think the two people that will benefit most from this match will be Switchblade and Takeshita.
I actually just looked at Jay White's record. He's only lost 2 matches in AEW.
Jay White?
Yeah, he's 11-2, but most of them have been tags,
right.
Trios, whatever.
I think it's just hard because I haven't feel like I've seen any matches yet, but at least a single matches with Jay White. But I think this one's going to be a really good banger.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And like I said, I think I was at, and Connor, you were too. We were at that very first Rampage where Jay White wrestled Trent for his first official match in AEW, and that was like my first time seeing Jay White in person wrestling. Apart from all his footage from New Japan, so I was kind of impressed. But I feel like because the Elite just got that huge win over the Blackpool Combat Club in Blood and Guts, I think you need to give Takesha and the Bullet Club Gold a win here. Considering like your I mean Jay White and like isn't he from the UK? Like he's
from New Zealand.
Or New Zealand, but still he's overseas, and there's probably going to be a lot of fans from New Zealand at this show, because I'm sure the UK is closer to go to shows than US for New Zealanders. But yeah, I think you need Takesha and Bullet Club Gold to win this match, just to give them that boot up on the Golden Elite, and just kind of. I mean, honesty, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Golden Elite, they're going to win because it's the Elite, and it's like, well, I do feel like they would put over Takesha and Bullet Club Gold for it, So for this match, I do see Bullet Club Gold and Takesha winning. So by some weird outside interference from Don Callis, as always.
Nice. I love that. I'm wanting to see, like, I'm ready for, I think what, All Out's the next pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah, the very next.
You think we'll get Kenny versus Takeshita?
Yeah, that seems like that's something that they would do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Connor? Who do you got winning this match?
I'm gonna go Kenny Omega and the Golden Elite. But then again, I could see Bullet Club Gold winning. Well, technically, two of the Bullet Gold.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good match. Has Kenny Omega and Jay White ever going against each other in one match together?
I don't think so.
Even a tag. I don't think they've ever like a tag singles. I don't think they've ever been in the ring together because when Jay White was in New Japan, Kenny Omega was in AEW. I'm going to go the Golden Elite, even though I would love to see the Colliders get a win. It should be a really good match, and hopefully down the road we get a Bray. Despite the comment that just popped up, a Jay White and Kenny Omega singles match. But I'm going to go Golden Elite for this match.
So real quick before we
I'll see why they did it. They did this match. Golden Elite, the Golden Bullet Club. Someone's got to be more golden than the other.
So it looks like Jay White and Kenny did have. Let's see. So yeah, they've had a mix. They had a match in 2018 with Chase Owens, Omega, and Takashi, and then it was Jay White, Ishii, and Yano. And then in 2000, then also as well in 2018, they did show up and have one singles match. They've only had one singles match. It's been a tag match of some sort. So yeah, Zach, what about you?
Yeah. As you guys were talking, I was just imagining like how amazing that interaction between Kenny Omega and Jay White would be. Because like I've always followed New Japan, but I never really watched it. And so when Bullet Club came to AEW, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a little piece of the pie finally. So yeah, I want to see the Bullet Club Gold. I want to see them, like you said, like take this match, take that energy from the win, and propel them up to like another level, and then that can just bring more people up. So yeah, I'm rooting for Bullet Club Gold. Two of my favorite colors, black and gold, baby. So let's go.
Yep, Mike definitely agrees. Bullet Club winning that one. Now this is a very interesting talking point. He doesn't feel that Takeshita can pull off a heel run. That's why he went with Don Callis. I think without Don Callis, the heel run just wouldn't work.
Great.
Also, Eduardo, fortunately, Bray Wyatt did pass away. Mike has posted about it as well.
Eduardo, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching as well, and thank you guys for remembering Bray Wyatt. We will be doing a special wrestling spotlight next week on Bray Wyatt, so make sure you guys check us out for that, because I think it's going to be an emotional episode for sure, just because I haven't had too many wrestlers pass away that I grew up with, and Bray Wyatt for me was one of them. So like I said, it's hard to see. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll have a great episode next week. So make sure you guys all check that out for sure.
I do want to point out Eduardo in the comments. Since we've started this, probably the one. Well, there might be a few others, but the one person that stuck with us since day one of this podcast. So, thank you for watching, Eduardo.
Yeah, thank you also to our new subscribers and new listeners too. Lucky said great wrestling in Kentucky, great weekend in Kentucky AEW. Awesome, good to hear that. Davis also has Bullet Club winning. Collide. Yeah, life be life, brothers. Times when the wind blows in another direction. Deep words of wisdom for sure coming from Eduardo. So
yeah.
All right. So next match. This one is I think the first ever double coffin match. You have Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage.
Adam Copeland showing up, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
On this day,
no, I honestly like this match. Like again, this goes back to my first comment about how I felt about the show last night. How I don't know, creatively it was dumb to kind of how quickly it turned around with getting AR Fox out of that group, out of Mogul Embassy, and then all of a sudden Darby, Nick, and Sting just be like, "Hey, you're good, man. Like, we understand." It's like, dude, what is going on?
It was really random because they had
Like,
AR
it's
Fox,
like,
his whole school.
Or could it be a
yeah,
swerve?
like, I mean, who knows? Maybe AR Fox does show up and cost Darby and Sting the match. Everything like that. I mean, imagine the reaction. And then maybe this is where Connor's golden boy Goldberg shows up to kind of help out Sting and Darby. Yeah.
Goldberg.
Come on, Sting and Goldberg. WCW days, Connor. You know that might happen if Mogul Embassy starts beating them up.
And that's the reason, and that's one of the main reasons WCW aren't in business these days.
But think about how many fans would rage quit though. That's my thing. Is like, okay, Tony can't be that dumb because think about it, he'd bring in Goldberg, and then hardcore AEW fans would just be like, "Screw this, I'm out."
I think what they should do is
for sure.
just have a mystery match, and it'd be Ryback and Goldberg.
No, then you'd get everybody up on their seats and leave. Like, yeah,
totally great idea. 80,000 people just walk out of the stadium to the Ryback.
That would be bad.
I'd rather have Enzo
really
and More than Ryback.
That's worse. That's worse than a bald Shawn Michaels. Like, that's just if terrible to look at if you do that.
If Goldberg ever came to AEW, the only stuff I like to see him do is do one last tag match with Sting, and then go against Wardlow, but Wardlow beat Goldberg, and that's it.
Dude, Wardlow just beat him with one spear.
Yeah, yes. You should do one.
Or just powerbomb him 3 times.
Yeah, and then that's it. That's it.
Yeah, because, hey, Goldberg's got good shoulders. It's not going to hurt him too bad. Should be the easiest $1 million he'll make. Oh, I just got to take 3 moves? And maybe a spear from Wardlow? Shit.
Oh, a 2-minute match? Perfect. I'm used to those with Brock.
Oh, gosh. That first one was great to see Brock lose finally. But, geez, after that, Goldberg just embarrassed himself.
The Kevin Owens thing was, I didn't like that.
Dude, I felt so bad for KO.
Yeah, I didn't.
That was...
Again, that was a Vince decision, though. That's what sucks about it. Because in the long run, Hunter wanted KO to hold that title a long time. I mean, because Triple H loves those independent darlings and those NXT guys. So, I mean, but no, with this match to finish, I kind of see a shocking win of Swerve and Christian getting the win over Darby and Sting. Again, this might come with maybe Swerve having another Swerve with AR Fox coming out and costing Darby and Sting. Maybe it was a fake on from last night, fake out. But who knows with the writing? I mean, you never know till it happens. But I do see maybe Nick Wayne showing up to help, and then maybe another surprise person coming out to help them defend off Mogul Embassy.
It just seems really because I didn't know that. I thought it was I didn't realize it was Christian Swerve until basically now, until I looked up in the match card. Because why would you invest in having Darby and Sting go to AR Fox's school while they're doing a small little show and act AR Fox that way?
It's visa issues. I still think that they had to do something. I don't know. Or unless they're going to do a Swerve and Air Fox costs Sting and Darby, but I feel like they just wanted Christian Cage on the card, like they wanted to find something to put him in. I don't know. I personally wouldn't have kicked him out of the whole group.
No, agreed. It's just
Connor, you and I talked about it last night during the show that we thought it was cool that they intertwined the 2 feuds together.
Yeah,
which is really cool, because you never see that, because you usually see Christian Luchasaurus on Collision. So, but because they recorded Collision last night, everybody was in the arena. Everybody, every wrestler, manager was at that arena last night. So it's they're we might as well make stories about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they did that because Darby and Christian just throws that feeds on Collision and Dynamite, Darby and Swerve. I like how they just somehow somewhere they collided them all together, made it one story.
Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Collide.
interesting. I don't know how to call this match. Like I feel like it's just
Ooh,
weird
that would
adding
be-
Christian Cage unless like maybe AR Fox is hurt and not cleared to wrestle.
It
Or-
could
or
be the
use-
same with Ray Phoenix where it's a travel issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or-
it's just really weird, you know. But
I thought it was going to be Keith Lee at first because that's what Adam said, and I really thought it was going to be Keith Lee going back with Swerve.
hope so. Well, I think you know what? I just really because people, you know how many people because reports have been saying that Keith Lee is still with AEW, and that
Yeah.
Fightful
He is.
wrong information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what if Keith Lee comes out to help Sting and Darby, and that sets up Swerve and Keith Lee at All Out?
I mean, it could be. I mean, that could. I mean, like I said last night with on the show that we've only got 2 matches so far that have been announced for All Out, and that's the TNT title with Luchasaurus against Darby, and then Miro versus Hobbs.
Right.
So those are technically the only 2 official announced ones. So you got to fill out that card somehow. So maybe
when is All Out?
All Out's like a week after.
My poor wallet.
Yeah, so so I think at All In you're gonna see some more matches set up and announced for All Out, and I mean I wouldn't think of a better place to do it than All In front of 80,000 people to announce matches for All Out.
It's gonna be interesting for sure. Zach, what are you thinking about this match?
Yeah, so I'm listening to you guys talk, and like last night when I was watching it, I had the that dark part of me, that everyone, that heel inside of me saying, "Oh, he's gonna be a mole," because like I couldn't chew down and swallow the fact that like they built this up, like you guys were saying, like they invested in that promo going to Nick Wayne's wrestling school. I'm just like, there's got to be something here. And I love AEW storytelling. So I'm like, there's got to be more layers here. So I think that, or I hope that AR Fox is a mole and he turns on Darby Allin because they have that real life relationship. So I hope they play on that. And then I also think, like watching it last night, I'm like, Christian, why is Christian? And then I was thinking, at all out, it's going to be Darby Allin versus Luchasaurus. And so I'm like, I wonder how they're going to use All In to build to that. So I'm very interested to see. I hope they really take this opportunity and expand upon it.
Yeah, really good insight. Connor?
I got Sting and Darby. Sting's never lost a match in AEW. I think he's going to lose it All In. I just hope if anyone comes out to help someone, I suppose like Goldberg, or I really hope. Now you mentioned that, Adam. Now you doing the whole night. Damn.
I just thought it was funny. In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna say this, and Connor's gonna laugh, and it's gonna be perfect.
Right.
Goldberg came, I guess, it'd be whatever, but I think it's gonna be a pretty good match, though. Christian and Sting hasn't stepped in front of the ring together since their TNA days, so that's going to be exciting to see. But I got Sting and Darby winning. I think that match is going to be like, as I said, like besides Adam Cole and Darby Allin, I mean Adam Cole and MJF, their feud's out like definitely the best feud on Dynamite because that feud's been mainly on Dynamite. Their feud's the best on Dynamite, but the second best feud is Darby and Swerve. How they've been able to the storytelling, going to school. Joker Sting is coming back. Looks like for All In.
Showtime.
We kidnapped Princess Nana for the night. Just the back and forth promos and stuff. Yeah, I got Sting and Darby winning that match.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a fun match. I'm excited to see it. Okay, so what's the official Stadium Stampede match right now?
So the official one is Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, and Penta versus Blackpool Combat Club and Pride and Powerful.
It was supposed to be 6-on-6, but
6-on-6, but they changed it to 5-on-5, which I think works better. I think with 6-on-6, it's just too much, too many moving pieces. But with 5-on-5 and with the right 5 people on each team, I think it works.
okay.
So,
and I think this is the first. We have not had an AEZ Canada person on here with the U.S. people. So the history's being made. Dusty, the host of the AEZ Canada, is with us for the.
Dusty is making a run-in. My God. My God.
Right before he hits the ring, goes underneath, hangs out with Hornswoggle. What's going on, boys? AEZ is in the building.
Love it.
Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Dusty?
They got popcorn underneath the ring and everything.
So where are we at, boys? What are we talking right now?
All right, so we're on Stadium Stampede, baby. So we're going to talk about some of who do you think who's going to win this match? This just seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know about y'all, but Stadium Stampedes have been some of the most fun cinematic matches out there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Since Jericho was in the first two, I want to talk it up. I think there's a couple differences. I don't know what they're doing with it. If they're going to give us a proper Stadium Stampede where they can go everywhere, if they're going to have 80,000 people in the building, what are they really going to do? So, I mean, it's kind of a mishmash. I really don't like when AEW does this to me, when they push the teams together just to get them on a show. But I wanted to see every one of those guys on the show. I think the heels take it. I think Mox, Claudio, and the boys have been getting hit pretty hard. They've been taking some L's. So I'm going to go with the Blackpool Combat Club and Santana and Ortiz on that one.
You know, in a way, though.
I'm with Dusty on that, just because, again, that goes back to my thing of you fit so many people on a card just to put them on the card. But also it goes back to my whole thing of Bullet Club Gold and Takesha winning against the Golden Elite is because all those guys need the win. And I feel like Blackpool Combat Club just lost that big match against the Elite in Blood and Guts. So I'm like, I feel like the group as a whole needs to get back on like a winning roll. And so I'm going with Blackpool Combat Club somehow pulling this out. You're going to get some crazy spots in Wembley. I mean, I don't know how the seating arrangement's going to go at Wembley with 80,000 people, but freaking you're going to get different moments. Cameras are going to be all over the place trying to catch everything. And if you've ever seen Wembley Stadium, how it's set up, the seating arrangement, like they've got like stadium seating, like weird stadium, like angled seating. So when they're fighting on stairs, it's going to be crazy. But also just like some of the moments you're going to see in the match, you know. So I'm going to go with Blackpool Combat Club and Pride and Powerful pulling this one out. I mean, why else would you bring back Santana Ortiz to take an L?
That's exactly what I was thinking. The Santana Ortiz coming back. You're not going to bury this tag team when you want to give them a push. So
I think we're going to see like a new feud start up or reheat back up, I should say, between what was happening with Eddie and Pride and Powerful. I think something's going to happen between those two parties.
Well, yeah, we have to get that, but we also have to get a Mox takeoff because that's what it's building to is Eddie versus Mox, and we still have to see another Claudio versus Eddie. Maybe this is where we're getting that, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
With the talk of Stadium Stampede, I want to jump on. Have you guys tried the game?
Not yet.
No.
I just had it downloaded.
Not yet, no.
Before I got on air.
So I've been crushing it for the last 3 hours with my boys, and it's bad when my 7-year-old takes the controller and he gets 4 eliminations in his first try. I'm at my first try, and I've gotten 2. But the kids, when they get those controllers, they know the buttons like we don't, so they know what's going on, and they crushed.
What console?
I'm usually a button smasher.
Yeah, and
Like-
you're gonna like this one. I went with Switch so that we all could pass it around because everybody in the house has a Switch. I was thinking PlayStation, but that's for me. I wanted this one to be a whole family lot.
Yeah.
I played it nonstop today. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Dang, Connor. Is it like one of those ones that like I'm gonna have to sit down on a Friday night or Saturday night, have a case of Mountain Dew, and just go?
Yeah, it's addictive because I started playing at 5 a.m. when it first released, and then I looked at my phone. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Connor,
Yeah, so it's
how's your eyes doing, bro?
That's a whole work day for me, man.
That is the whole work day.
He's the prince of production. He doesn't sleep. He's Tony Khan 2.0.
yeah.
It's the
RC the beer
Coca-Cola.
grower. Don't.
Minus the blow.
Allegedly.
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 Oh man, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Adam, Connor, Zach, how pumped are y'all for this? Dusty's already excited for it. He's got me pumped up. Dude, Dusty coming all the way from Canada, just talk Stadium Stampede, got me fired up. So back to my comment that I posted, Dusty. He made his Talking Elite debut tonight and has got us fired up. So, all right, guys. Stadium Stampede, what you guys thinking?
Well, much like the Ultimate Warrior, I'm feeling the energy from our neighbors up north. Dusty, bringing that energy down. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. Yes. Oh, man. And that energy is going to be multiplied 10x in this match. I can't even wait to see what they create. Like you all have said, there's so much space, so many opportunities. Oh, yeah. I feel the heavens rising. Oh, brother. All right, sorry. Get back on point. Yes, so it's going to be amazing. I do need to update my video game system. I'm still rocking the PS3, so I need to catch up with y'all. But I digress. I think that, I wanted to see the Blackpool Combat Club lose. But the fact that they're in the UK, I think that gives them a little extra energy to pull out the W. They have been taking a lot of L's lately, and man, there's so many feuds just within this, and so much history. I see Blackpool Combat Club. They're forged in fire. They're gonna come out the winner.
Forged in fire. I like that. Dude, did you like? So I didn't. So are we like the mega powers like now? Is like Talking Elite and AZ Canada like the Hogan and the Macho Man?
Shake the hand. Shake the hand, brother. Reach across.
You know that.
So this is, I try to pull it up the best I can, but to give you guys an idea of what Wembley Stadium looks like. So you see the center there. So that's where the ring's going to be. I mean, this is at a concert. And so it's like, you look at how the seating's going to be on the floor.
Wow.
So it's like, it's just going to be crazy with 80,000 people. Like,
and they're going to sing. Oh my God, are they going to sing?
Oh,
heck yeah.
It is going to be a full-term crowd concert, and I think Claudio is going to get some good reaction.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one person I think will really open up the UK's.
Oh, and then to just listen, I'm getting chills just thinking about Judas right now. Like, it's going to be Cody's whoa-ohs and the from LA Knight. So I to be honest with you, I think WWE is gonna. I think this is gonna be something better than most WWE chants. I'm excited.
Have you guys ever watched any of Progress?
No.
Okay. You should go back and check some of their earlier stuff, but right now they're about to come to a streaming deal where they start doing their shows live by the end of the year. So I'm really excited for that. But that's where Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., Pete Dunne, Walter,
Walter, yeah.
call him Gunther. All of those guys were over there since the beginning. Even Marty Skrull, he started with a Party Marty raver gimmick. Like
Yeah.
they were.
I remember that. Yeah.
But the thing about those, like my favorite match was Mark Haskins versus Gargano for Toronto's Smash Wrestling Championship. And the way the crowd walked in there and they had a song for each guy and they would take over. And it gave that punk rock vibe that I was just into. So I watched all of the beginning. Even now with Cara Noir, I really enjoy it. But you give them 80,000 people to speak. Oh, hell yeah. That was definitely a match.
Oh, yeah. So I'm with Dusty because I remember that video I sent you guys of Guido at some small show and the entire crowd singing Madonna, his theme song coming out.
Nice.
Like the whole crowd was singing it, and it was amazing. It is amazing how these European crowds are. And I'm with Dusty. I watched a lot of old Progress Wrestling matches, and holy crap, they went nuts when Drew McIntyre came back and like stormed the ring. And I keep forgetting the group that he was beaten up on. It was some faction that he was beating. Yeah, and it was like Gallus, and he just came back and he's just going crazy, and the crowd's going nuts. So like Progress Wrestling is great.
That was ICW in Scotland that he returned at, but they have the same cast.
But they have the same group of wrestlers on both shows.
Oh yeah,
because it's European. So a lot of those guys go to. It's like the old days of like the promotions, like the Jim Crockett's in the Mid-South, where the same wrestlers would cross promotions. It's the same thing over in Europe with Progress and the Scotland's and all that stuff.
So right now we have like this vibe in the city. Like I'm down here in Niagara Falls, right? There's a couple, like we've got about 3 or 4 indies, but in Toronto, those shows are insane. And this weekend, it's going to be littered with Impact and all these shows. Well, Progress came down to battle Toronto Smash Wrestling. And they had a 2-night show where they brought a bunch of guys and our guys fought them. And we went to a show on Friday night and ran into a bunch of drunken Irishmen.
Nice.
And they were only here on a work visa and they were going back in a month, and we told them to come to the Progress show. So they came. They lit up the night. Like between my crew and their crew, we ran the entire room, and it was funny to hear the hooligans get going, and even a little bit of soccer hooliganry up there is going to be loud. Wow.
So real quick, so who's the bigger drinkers, the Irish or the Canadians?
I'm literally drinking scotch right now, so challenge me.
Well, the thing is, see, it's scotch, so it's not considered being an alcoholic. You're just being classy.
Yeah. I'm a classy drunk. I don't go to meetings.
It is required, man.
Hey, anytime you want to, I'm about to crack open another bottle of moonshine I have here with Dusty. So anytime you want to come to Tennessee and drink some moonshine.
Ooh.
I got to
Only
introduce
10 ice tea. Let's go.
I'm getting thirsty.
Well, salute.
This one I'm actually going to put towards the guys that have just passed. I mean, this was a hard week for us wrestling marks, man. This one kicked in the junk. So
do you guys want to? Well, we're going to do a Terry Funk episode for sure. And then next Thursday, we're going to do a live show of Talking Elite. We're going to be talking about Bray Wyatt.
Nice.
So, Dusty, you're, of course, always welcome, brother. You
I'll
and
jump
your
in
brothers.
for the Terry one. I'll see what availability is, but I can talk Terry for a while. I got some good matches. I got good memories there.
Yeah. We can look
Bray,
at
I really, really, really wanted more from his career, and I understand health, but it's just sad. 36 is too young.
It's so wild to me because, like, I've never had really a wrestler that I loved and cared about so much pass away until Brody. And then my fiance, I'm driving home from work, and she's like, "Did you hear Bray Wyatt died?" I'm like, "No." And I see in our group chat they post about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh! Like, I literally cried until I got to pick up my fiance. I've had wrestlers I loved pass away, but not like how Bray Wyatt is, you know.
Hmm.
Terry Funk was hard too.
The one that killed me, I was 13, and I watched the pay-per-view at West Edmonds Mall Reds, and it was the night Owen died.
Oh, I
In
cried
Alberta,
like a baby.
the entire province was crying, and it was devastating.
I was watching that pay-per-view at home when it happened, and as soon as JR got back on the mic and said Owen Hart had died, I was like, wait, what? Because I tell people all the time when people ask me, who's your favorite mid-card wrestler back in the day, I always tell them Owen Hart. Honestly, the way that man never held a world title, it shocks me the way he was a ring worker. So like when it happened live on pay-per-view, I was done. I barely got through the rest of the pay-per-view as many of the other talents did. I mean, if you watch the main event of the Undertaker's visibly shaking. He was shaking. So
I wouldn't be able to work.
That one hit hard, and Benoit was definitely a heartbreaker. It wasn't so much what happened; it was the whole ambiance of who he was and why that one.
Yeah.
Being born in Edmonton, he was the only wrestler coming out of Edmonton with a name. Still to this day, I don't know anyone from Edmonton that had that impact on wrestling.
Because think about most people in Canada is what, Winnipeg or
Calgary. Calgary's an hour and a half away from there, but Calgary puts out people like mad.
Yeah.
You can go Toronto, and the GTA is covered. I mean, half of the undercard of AEW is from the area. Where I live right now, that's Sean Spears' homestead. So
love Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Before we get on to the next match, I'm going to go to the comment section. Jason, thanks for the love, brother. I was training last night at the fire station, so I do apologize for not being on. I will try to be on next Wednesday, depending on circumstances, but I should be able to come on. So we appreciate it. Triple H, you did some scouting, if I remember correctly. And Eduardo says, greatest mid-card is Moppy.
Ooh.
Moppy pulled most wins to losses.
Moppy would get his ass kicked by Pepe.
All right. All right.
I talked you, boys. Got him.
You broke us.
Okay, let's move on to the next match.
All right, next we have the real world champion. We have CM Punk versus Samoa Joe in a Ring of Honor rivalry match.
Connor, I don't think you and Dusty are going to be best friends since he's booing.
We'll go back and forth. It's not a problem, and he knows it.
Oh,
he knows how I feel.
Oh, we need to find the video clip and send it to you. But it was like one of the ones after Brawl Out, and it was like we were talking constantly about CM Punk. Me and Connor got into it. I've never been fired up and gotten in a debate with someone so loud. That was one of the best things in all its own wrestling. Besides Chris with MJF. So,
oh God.
So I'm very, like I said, I'm very neutral when it comes to CM Punk but everything that happened was just good.
If you want to check out all the CM Punk AZ Canada, that's where
we had fun on our last pod, and when that releases, check it out. It got pretty interesting, and everybody was opinionated, and nobody's opinions matched. So there was some good back and forth throughout the show.
Really?
Yeah,
so go check out AEZ. They're definitely going to have some fun stuff coming up Saturday. I'm actually excited now. So I have to work extra on Saturday, so I'll definitely pop it in before the pay-per-view starts, or depending on when it comes out, might wait till actually. But okay, let's dig in, shall we? For this, I'm going to have Connor and Dusty go first. So, what do you think is going to happen in the match? You guys excited for the match? Oh, Dusty's like already like, oh.
Who cares? How about that?
Damn.
Why is he even in Wembley? Get the Punk in Chicago, main event that pay-per-view. You want your own world? Go have your own world. You didn't make anybody buy a seat in Wembley. They bought it before they even knew your name was attached. You aren't selling anything. Let's hear the boos. Let's hear the boos. You heard it here in Forbidden Door. We booed you out the door. Go ahead, Connor.
Well, I don't know that collision in Toronto. That he got some cheers. That collision, he didn't get totally booed out of the arena. But
That's
I think
because I didn't go.
I'm really excited for Joe and Punk. The collision episode, they didn't really get a lot of minutes, and they're like it's very very short. So I think Punk and Joe's gonna split big time on collision. I mean on All In. I'm going for Punk. He's gonna beat. He's gonna beat Samoa Joe by GTS. He's gonna put him to sleep, and we won't see Joe until a while.
Damn, Connor.
So if we're gonna be real here, let's be real. Since the day he came back, you give him more than 20 minutes, and the guy's injured.
He wrestled more than 20 minutes in his collision matches. CM Punk and Ricky Starks.
Matches, though?
Yeah, he's got a 6-man. Of course you're getting 35. You only had to work 3.
CM Punk and Ricky Starks went 22 minutes. I see on Cage Match 1-on-1. So that already beats that saying. So
I'm just saying, if we're real about it, we haven't seen him go. And
I don't know.
Minus the MJF match. Yeah, where is the lie?
Where's the lie?
The MJF match. Punk hasn't walked out there and shown me why he was the best in the world. And I think the nostalgia will wear off pretty quick unless he comes to play. And the good thing is he's got Joe. And Joe can carry anybody's ass all around the arena. But to be real, I'm taking Joe on this.
That's weird because Joe won all those matches in Ring of Honor, but who got the WWE first? Where's the?
But Joe was helping out with everything from independent scene to ROH to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, the minor leagues, and then he got the ship over to the WWE when his career was on the tail end. And Punk's already done all that stuff. He's won against The Undertaker. He won the WWE Championship.
Now, when I'm shitting on him, I'm not shitting on his history. The guy did some really good stuff in his career. But we're talking now to the point that he showed up in Chicago that night. I have not seen anything. I've seen more out of Christian, who's got him by at least 15 years. When Christian touches a mic lately, it's a dangerous thing. That guy is visceral. But when Punk touches the mic, he's got to crap on the other talent.
So Christian does.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a work and there's a shoot.
CM Punk and Ricky Starks isn't a shoot.
I'm waiting for Ricky to get back to where he needs to be. He's not there, and he wasn't there with the Punk thing.
Oh yeah, Punk. He GTS'd him and put him to sleep. That's what happened.
So much for CM Punk putting over the young guys. Am I right? Hey-oh.
Ricky Starks got one over Punk. What was that when he? It wasn't the Ricky Steamboat. No, that's when Punk won.
Yeah, he had to cheat.
He had to cheat.
Yeah, he couldn't beat Punk fair and square, so he had to cheat. Yeah,
Punk's ring awareness.
This is making good content right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. No, you guys. I was just talking to my lady. I was like, yeah, Connor and Dusty are going back and forth between.
Yeah.
And it's all respect and love. I mean, I want Punk to do good. If he shows up to Wembley and gives me a 3.5, I don't even want him to go 5-star. 3.5, I'd be fine with it.
I'll say a good nostalgic match.
I will say the match on Collision didn't get a lot of time restraints for main event. They got like maybe 15 minutes. because I cut them short. But I think since on pay-per-view, normally big matches like that get more time. So, but just to let everyone know, I know when me and Lane had that, everyone was saying that we had heat, or no one has heat. It's just a debate, I guess you'd say.
Oh, if you don't have an opinion and you can't voice it, then you're in the wrong house.
See, there's a difference from giving us your opinion and being a freaking mark. Am I wrong?
DM Lane. Tell him when he's lying.
But I think with this one, it's gonna be a fun, nostalgic match. I actually have Punk winning this one. I think it's gonna end with a GTS. I think it's gonna be a close back and forth, but I think Punk's gonna go over on this one. Michael is going with Joe. So
Joe.
Joe's gonna kill you.
I think it's Punk. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I'd like to see Joe with double titles again, like you did with TNT and the Ring of Honor television title. But I think you have Punk go to Wembley and win in front of 80,000 people.
Yeah.
But again, if Punk, like Dusty says, if Punk, I have nothing against Punk. I like both guys. I like both Punk and Joe. But I think in the concept of it all, you're really going to have Joe go over Punk in front of 80,000 people.
No way.
Of course, it'd be a shocker. But if they can put on a solid match that's reminiscent of their early Ring of Honor days, I think you'll be all right.
In front of 80,000 people. One of the best Ring of Honor feuds in front of 80,000 people.
To think that their first
go completely Joe and give it the Hogan switch.
Ooh.
Because I mean, it's
Okay.
one thing. What if they turn on Punk and he gets the heel run he wants, and it's London's fault?
True.
Whose fault?
Well, I mean, sometimes London fans they jump on one side just for something to jump on, and they just bury like crazy, and they have fun with it.
I think he will be heel at a win. I think that's something that's going to come pretty soon.
Yeah.
A Punk heel win.
Oh, dude, I think they're building up to Punk in the Elite still. I think they're gonna start building that because think about it, the whole Punk and Peg Warmer line against Hangman Adam Page. I think something's gonna happen, or the brother is trying to work himself into another shoot. So, man.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, crap. Sorry, Mike. Oh.
I
was trying to add Mike. Did it work?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't see you though.
I'm barbecue. I'm sorry. I just had to start dinner.
Oh, you're good, man. Hey, welcome to the show. We have
There you
our
go.
next run-in.
Got some tri-tip on for Wyndham today. I was saving it for a special occasion, but I'll grill it up for him.
All right, so we are talking Punk versus Joe. Who do you got?
I'm going Joe. Like I said in the comments, that was me. I'm going Joe. Yeah. And the thing is, I love CM Punk. I cried when he came back. He was the reason why I started watching WWE again, was when they brought him out. I even saw him when he debuted at the One Night Stand. We were talking about that last week. But I was listening to you guys talk about, he hasn't really done much since debuting. He spent 3-4 months talking. He had a great match with Darby, a great match with MJF, but these are guys that could help carry him. And the guy's older. He's been out for 7-8 years. He's not conditioned like he was. And with Joe, a seasoned vet, I have to go with him. And the guy told Brock Lesnar to look at him when he's talking to him. So it's like, where are you going to go?
He's got cojones.
Yes, he does.
He's got big cojones. I will not tell Brock Lesnar. It's like, I'm sorry, sir. I will not interrupt you again.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go strongly with Joe on that one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. As much as a Punk fan as I am, as much as my brothers say everything that make fun of me, about being a Punk fan. I still back him up, but him being very outspoken, being in a different time of wrestling from when he was in, has been a turnoff. And that's why I'm going Joe.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, all right. Zach, did you already go?
No, I didn't. I'm still just basking in the glorious content that was created a few minutes ago. But if you look into my eyes, you'll see
I'm looking.
that Punk.
Focusing.
Yes. Punk is the cult of personality. Now, I do agree, he's getting up there in age. But yeah, my heart is with Punk. I'm sorry, Dusty. I know this is the first time we're meeting. I don't want to break any hearts, but I tend to break some hearts. So yeah, I see Punk is going to come out on top. And from one of the comments earlier, I see that building towards possible MJF feud in Chicago. We'll see.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen in Chicago. Because Mr. Miller.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I think it's going to be MJF. I think MJF has to beat. I think they're going to have like a best of series. And I think Punk is going to lose to MJF. I think.
I mean, you still have a story there with Ricky Starks. So I mean, I think you have another go around to it with Ricky Starks and CM Punk at all out. I mean, that's the only way you go.
Didn't they say you could wrestle for like 30 days or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why. But maybe you have, since he's manager role, have Big Bill.
Big Bill,
Big Bill face CM Punk, and because we've seen Punk against the big guys before with Wardlow, and I think he went against Hobbs, so he's gone against the big guys. So, and I think it's like a similarity I hate using it as comparison, but it's kind of similarity with Brock Lesnar works well with the smaller guys, as where CM Punk works well with big guys because of the pace and what they can do on spots. That's what I kind of compare what CM Punk does with all the big guys in the ring that he wrestles.
We got Tank. We got another run-in. Whoa, what is going on tonight? We got Tank.
The Canadian invasion has begun.
No, not the CWO. Anything but the CWO.
Or of 1812 all over again.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Please don't let this turn into an invasion storyline. This is just
it's a good one.
It's over professional wrestling at this.
Sorry, I got my equalizer.
Oh yes, Zach's bringing the heavy weaponry.
Oh no! What a
from up north.
I'll grab my hockey stick, bud.
That looks like the Divas belt on his stick.
you guys going out? Are you guys going out for a rip after this?
Let's go for a rip on the dart ski.
Maybe we'll see some mooses, eh? See some mooses, eh?
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, this is awesome.
How did he really?
All right.
Well,
what are we discussing?
I'm so glad you could join us. I've heard you. I haven't had a chance to meet you face to face. So welcome to Talking Elite.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
All right. So who do you got this coming Saturday for Punk versus Joe?
I'm like, who do I want to win, or who do I see them looking to go over?
Who do you want to go over, or who do you think is going to go over, and who do you want to win?
You know what? In both cases, oh my God. Sorry, Dusty. In both cases, it's probably Punk. And I'm not even really the biggest Punk fan, and I do like Joe, but I do think it's the smarter booking idea as well. Oh no, I just ran off my only tag partner. Dusty, come back. It's Joe. I'm going with Joe. But I think Punk is obviously they're going to keep the belt on him. They're not going to take the belt off him just yet. He just introduced it, and I was a big Punk fan back in the day, and it's kind of dulled since everything that happened with the backstage stuff. Like, he was treated unfairly when he was let go from WWE, getting fired on his wedding day and all that stuff, and then when he came to AEW, we kind of started coming around that, hey, hang on a second, this guy might actually be the asshole, not the other way around. And so I don't know how to feel about him at times.
Man, this show has been awesome. So appreciate you guys coming on. Both Tink and Dusty, if you guys are just joining us, do the AEZ. They are our Canada team. So make sure you guys check them out every Saturday. They put out some killer podcasts, guys. Like, I am very impressed with their show. So thank you guys so much for coming on. It's a huge treat because I wanted to talk to you guys for so long. So glad to have you guys on the show.
Nice.
All right. Well, the next one is going to be an interesting one. I can't call this one just because there's so much investment emotionally with Daddy Ass. So you got the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass going right up against the House of Black.
So Connor and I were talking about this last night on the Dynamite reaction. We were talking about how we weren't really feeling another third match between these groups, but if this truly is Billy Gunn's last run, do they let him go out on top in front of 80,000 people by finally winning some gold in AEW, which is fine. Because we talked about the longevity and the run of House of Black, how they've been the longest running trios champions. I love the House of Black. It's probably one of my favorite factions going on in professional wrestling right now. I just love the aura that they give off. When Connor and I were at the show last week in Nashville, I was barking when Brody when Brody King was in there. You know, we were all going, they're an amazing group. Their storytelling is amazing, but again, if this is the last run of Billy Gunn, then I can understand it. But again, you have Acclaimed lose to House of Black. Where do they go? That's the story you follow. Is if the Acclaim and Billy Gunn lose in front of 80,000 people against the House of Black, where do you go with the Acclaimed? You know, where that's 3 matches that they've lost against the House of Black for the trios title. So it's like, where are they supposed to go? You know, so I see this as a kind of a farewell to Billy Gunn in his career and let him have one more run with some gold in his career. Again, Connor and I did discuss that maybe they win it and then later down the line, House of Black win it back. I wouldn't mind seeing House of Black being 2-time trios champions, just because they're really good. Or we talked about last night, you could see maybe Brody and Buddy going off, win some tag titles, and finally Malachi getting his individual title. You know, because I like to see him on a singles run and win either like the TNT title or the international title, just to see Malachi with a singles title. So for me, with this match, I mean, the reason why they did the whole thing last night on Dynamite was to kind of make it clear, all right, Acclaimed and Billy Gunn are winning the titles for Billy Gunn's one last run.
I would prefer House of Black go over in a Shawn Michaels flair. There he is on his knees in the middle of the ring. And he looks at him and he says, do it, put me out of my misery. And Malachi's the one to give him the black mass. And that's the end of Billy. And I mean, it's on Wembley. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need a run with gold. Like you were saying, Malachi and the boys are on fire. And I really want to see them go back at Andrade and bring back Bruce, get the LFJ back. Or LFG.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, Dusty. I mean, that's the thing I want to go on is I'm picking Gunn in the Acclaimed, but I really deep down inside, I want House of Black to retain. I do, because they are my favorite group right now in any storyline, in any promotion right now. I even yelled it at the show last week when they were walking up the ramp. I was like, I stand with the House of Black, please. Like, I just love that faction.
I gotta pause for a second. I'm really building some fire over here in the chat. I just need to talk to Jason for a sec. I've seen every single one of your messages, and you are right. He has had some decent matches. The Mox situation kind of went poop, and we saw it. I don't think Mox really wants to do business with Punk after the whole Rocky thing, but that's okay. He did decent enough matches, but if you claim to be the best in the world, you better come in with that Bryan Danielson energy, because every single match he's had We remember. In 10 years, we will remember. Punk hasn't given us that best in the world match. That's all I'm saying. I liked Punk. I don't really care right now because he's not doing it in the ring. Maybe he can talk and he can piss people off, but I want to see him do it in the ring and shut my mouth. Tell me when I'm telling lies. And I do believe a bunch of silly little punk marks do exist in the AEW locker room. I'm on a shoot for you, bud. I do believe there's a bunch of people that he handpicked and gave the rub and the love in the conversation. And I also think there were people that didn't take to him. That's going to happen. It's a big locker room. There's all sorts of the age of entitlement in this youth. You got to expect it. And Punk's not the guy he was, because that's 7 years. 7 years gone, Connor?
He's still the same person.
You change. And you get change, and he is better, but I'm okay with it. I want him to perform in the ring for me to shut my mouth. And until he does that, like Mox was good.
I was there.
But a Mox match can only go this high because he gets stuck there. Mox has a ceiling to a perfect match. But if you're the best in the world, you better show up as the best in the world.
So do you think
That's why, sorry, Connor. That's why I enjoyed Ospreay's promo last night, because he named Punk in that promo when he says, "I'm better than Omega, I'm better than Okada, I'm better than Punk, and I'm better than you, Chris." That last night, I looked at Connor. I was like, this has got me fired up for Will Ospreay because of him name dropping that.
Yeah, because Ospreay wants to go against one of the best in the world, CM Punk. Yeah, name dropped him. Because that's probably like I was saying last night. That's probably a dream match for Ospreay Jericho. Because
there's not a bigger match, and I will tell you, I will watch this match 100 times over, even if it's a botch fest. Those are my two top guys. Jericho since '97, man. I'm an old mark, and I've been following it. And I'm telling you,
the Lionheart, man. The Lionheart. Yep.
I have the stupidest little agenda for school, and I ripped out World of Wrestling magazine and put Jericho all over it. I was all about the Ayatollah. So I was on the cruise real quick on you guys, and I got day drunk with Ospreay.
No way.
And he's sitting at the pool with me and my wife and a couple other couples, and he's shooting tequilas and I'm drinking, and it's an amazing time. He's a great storyteller. But then I go for a dip in the pool and he starts commentating me the whole time. Everybody's around laughing. I didn't hear a word because I was underwater. He goes, "Look at the Otter King. Look at this. He's so graceful in the water." Holding forward. I already worshipped the guy for what he did with Progress coming up. And then when he got to Japan after the broken neck, now that's a match. Best in the world, greatest of all time. He puts on matches. Show me that, CM Punk. You're going to need an Ospreay to give me 5.
So do you not think that Punk and Kingston wasn't a good match at Full Gear?
Kingston has
don't
ceiling as well in ring. He gets the crowd, and he's that real guy. But there's only certain guys that can guarantee, and that's Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega,
and CM Punk.
But he hasn't.
He has. CM Punk
that's
Darby,
opinion. That's not
CM
based
Punk
on forever.
CM
You're
Punk
not
versus FTR and MJF. CM Punk versus Powerhouse Hobbs. CM Punk versus Ricky Starks. CM Punk versus who else?
But we can do the same thing in 2 months. What Ospreay's done.
Who's Okada?
That just means you're uneducated, brother.
What?
Watch your wrestling. Okada? Who's Okada?
Can I say something real quick, guys?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So Ospreay's comment about wanting, like, saying he's better than Okada, better than Omega, better than even Punk and stuff like that. What do you expect would happen in a match with Ospreay and Punk?
I think
as much as deep heart fans we are to CM Punk, and I am to Pepsi Phil, but going against someone like Ospreay, he'll run circles around him, and we all know about this whole thing that's been the biggest talk of the summer was he doesn't like getting hit too hard and stuff like that. What is he going to do when he starts facing off on some of these real New Japan main eventers like Okada, who he wanted to face when he first came into the company? What he's going to do when these guys actually hit strong style? Is he going to say someone that's a 15, 20-year veteran is not professional enough? You know?
I
like
Kingston. I see
He's
Kingston.
dropping facts.
Now, another thing too, and with the Kinks and going to the Kingston and the Punk fight, it was a good match. I'll give it that. But it was a good match because it was a brawl. It wasn't a wrestling match. It wasn't a technical wrestling match like how Punk has always been praised of being best in the world at. It was good for a brawl. Just like the MJF and CM Punk match they had, it was a dog collar match. You don't need to do a bunch of holds. You got to do a bunch of spots. And that's what gets the crowd going for the entertainment aspect of the professional wrestling. Now Punk, yeah, he could do a quick chain wrestling and all that, but when you look at guys at a newer generation of wrestling from what it was back in 2012, 2014, it's different. It's night and day to him. And I think he knows that he is not immortal, and that's why he's shooting. Yes, Punk can draw, and Punk can totally create headlines with his pipe bombs. But right now in the ring, he isn't doing it. And I heard one of you guys said Christian's going out there. He is vicious on the mic. That match he had on Collision with Darby I'm surprised he didn't win it. I was going for Christian. But that's like the huge difference. That's the difference between someone that's been conditioned, has been still doing it, to someone who's been out for 7-8 years doing nothing.
Well, when he was out those 7-8 years, his first match back, he looked great.
Connor, I love you, man, but I kind of agreed that he was a little slower in the ring in that first match back, and I like Punk. I'm from Chicago, like Punk, and I remember his days in Ring of Honor and him coming through, WWF, WWE. Like I was like, okay, this guy's got something. But then he left and he comes back, and it's like this: you don't stay healthy enough, and you come back, and now you make all these demands based on your name value. And trust me, I was excited when Punk came back. I marked out. I was like, Punk's back. Sweet. Now we can get some decent matches in AEW, But since he's been back, I've been kind of iffy on it. I still watch everything Punk does because I want to hear what he says next. And that's the appeal of Punk, is him on the mic. His ring skills have kind of, and that also maybe comes with age too. I mean, he is getting older. But you look at someone like Sting taking the bumps in his 60s. You look at someone like Christian, who's great shape, still wrestling. But it's like Punk is like, I'm starting to realize that I might be jumping on Dusty's train here and starting to become like, Punk, you got to do something, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm starting to see it.
That he hasn't put on good matches. He's been in AEW is a complete lie, because no one would be saying this stuff if the Elite and Punk stuff wouldn't have happened. Like everyone was still being.
No, and I don't take away from that. I totally think that he's had great. He's had some matches.
Thing is that Punk's never put on a good match in AEW.
No. You're totally jumping that.
No,
words in my mouth. I'm not saying he hasn't had good matches.
Don't go back on what you say, dude.
No.
I think, sorry to interrupt, guys, but I think I could kind of jump in and kind of agree with both of you guys. Yes, he has had matches. He's had good matches. But if you're putting it into a simple term, his matches are like main eventing Monday Night Raw that he's had, with the exception to a few other matches he's had with AEW. But that's his type, the rating I would give it. It looks like he's main eventing a Monday Night Raw. I'm not seeing a WrestleMania caliber wrestling out of Punk that's making him so great and best in the world that he is. And yes, age is a factor. Being out is a factor. He has had some great matches, stipulation matches, single wrestling, but it's not on a pay-per-view caliber level that we all love and remember of seeing a Punk. And also, I am team Elite on this.
Well, I will say that pay-per-view caliber match, Punk and MJF was that both times. And a lot of people will say that that's the best, even MJF said, the best feud in AEW history. With, the build-up to that match itself. this even goes back to MJ as a kid. He got a picture of Punk on his wall. Like, Punk is the best storyteller in AEW, and CM Punk and MJF proved that. Like, that was probably one of the best feuds in AEW, and probably the best feud in AEW. But to say he's not put on good matches is just the elite and Punk stuff. Like, you're just saying that because that happened. If that would never happen, then you would never be saying this. That's just, and wrestling fans are like that. You know, they'll turn on someone and they'll go back to them, and then they'll look at the Sammy Guevara. You know, they turned on him, now they're back with him, and like wrestling fans just can't stay with someone. They gotta always find a way to turn on someone.
Well, Connor, I know we so with Sammy, I think what it is, and Lane and I talked about this on the Death of Kayfabe, about what's real, what's not real, the fan base of what's believing, what they should believe in, what they shouldn't believe in. I think with its fans I think with Sammy Guevara getting back over with fans, it's more so of his personal life starting to dwindle into the storytelling of, the cue card saying we're having a baby. That was kind of like his turn of, oh, we should support this guy because now he's going to be a family guy. Now we want to cheer him again. So that kind of dwindles into the whole fans turning against or picking sides. In the end of the day, for me, as a wrestling fan, growing up in the prime time of wrestling back during the Monday Night Wars and ECW, I can tell you right now, for wrestling fans, it's all about the business and the match quality. We don't care what happens backstage. I really don't care, because the only people that know what happens during that scrum are the people involved. You're going to have these freaking blogs and these freaking writers come out and try to divide the community, picking sides, which sucks because as wrestling fans back in those days, we didn't have those back in the 90s. I'm telling you that right now. Like, we didn't have the beat writers and the dirt sheet saying this is happening backstage. I mean, we talked about the curtain call. That was like the new age of video cameras and stuff like that, and someone caught it on camera back when video cameras are starting to become a thing. That's when you started to see the whole people coming out, oh, we can see this now, and stuff like that. So it's, for that, I just see it as a business. If we can get the elite and Punk to just be like, you know what, screw this, let's make some money, who cares?
Which wrestling has always been a business, and it will always be it always has been, always will. And that's why Punk is that person for that.
Why, the one thing, like, this would have been settled really quick back in the day because we had something backstage and we never heard about it until after the fact. Yes, where is Wrestler's Court? Where's the Kangaroo Court?
Kangaroo Court, yes.
There, you put the elite on the other side. You sit there and shit on each other. You have JBL show up and just do his thing.
That's what Punk would have done. Oh, that's what Punk would have done. But we got kids in the locker room. They don't want to come face to face.
Okay, but the thing is, so this is my kind of 2 cents. And we talked about this before, and then we'll move on. But think about it. If you had somebody you worked with, okay, and you constantly got, even though you might have worked together well in the past or could make more money together, but you as a person mentally could not work with them because it would damage what you love doing, would you want to work with that person? Yeah, I don't blame the elite for not wanting to work with CM Punk. Like, it's not being mean against CM Punk. People are going to have different opinions no matter what. But, dude, if it keeps the company alive and hopefully keeps less drama, then both parties should just stay away from each other. Or if they're wanting to make business, then do it in the proper channels and keep it behind closed doors. This goes for not just the wrestlers, but whoever's in Tony's office or whoever's backstage handling the politics back there.
I know a lot of people want to see CMFTR and the Elite, but one match, if I could see Kenny Omega and CM Punk, I could care less if the Young Bucks were involved, to be honest, because Young Bucks FTR was kind of that. I mean, you could do it, but the match I've always want to see is Punk and Omega.
I'm with Connor on that for sure.
If anything, I mean, because I think Kenny Omega he's put over Punk a lot here recently. So
He has.
So we just gotta wait and see what happens. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
I think TK can make any. He got Mark Briscoe on TV, so he can do it.
True.
That's tough.
Well,
Anyway,
all right.
thank
So-
you, Dusty, for my blood pressure being high. No, you're fine, man.
we mentioned we got to get back to this because before I took my hiatus, we were going to do the state of CM Punk address,
There it is, right? Well,
and I
that's
think we just did it and might need to do a whole episode on it. So
My bad.
we'll add
We're built different up north, bud.
One thing I could say about that, at the end of the day, Punk's doing his job. He has everyone talking about him.
True.
And you can't take that away.
No.
That is true.
It's the new age of wrestling. He has everyone talking about him.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Team you can use dirt sheets to tell stories, so who knows? All right.
God, I hate dirt sheets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
I need a 1XL on a Who's Okada shirt,
Yes.
and I want it to have Connor's
I know who
face
Okada
on the
is.
bill.
I know who Carter is.
Connor's face on the bill.
Yeah. Kind of just
I just had to say
open
that.
the rain. Let the rain fall down. You know, I do want to say one Okada thing that blew my mind. After we left Forbidden Door and you walked out downtown Toronto, Okada finished the thing, right? And we're all so high off of what we witnessed. All of a sudden, a downpour came, and it was a flash flood. And I swear to God, Okada was actually doing something here.
He's secretly just like secretly a legit god.
Yeah.
He's a shaman.
The shaman. Okay. All right. So the next match to discuss.
Better go to the
we
next
have the-
match before we start going again.
Yeah. Next match, we have the AEW World Women's Championship match with champion Hidokuro Shida, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Saraya. So I think this is Saraya's chance to win the championship. I think this is where she wins the belt.
Well, I'm interested to see how does the whole Toni Storm, Saraya, how does that work? Because they're both very selfish. That they're heels. They're both very selfish. So you can't see either one of them being like, oh no, you get it. Oh no, you get it. No, that's not going to happen, right? So I see them taking both each other out, and I seen DMD taking the gold.
Ooh. I was gonna say we're gonna see a finger poke of doom, and Toni Storm's gonna lay down for Saraya.
Oh god, no.
So I'm split on this match. I'm split on this match because I'm like, She'd just won the belt. Like, I'd like that. She held the belt during the shutdown era, so she was defending it in front of no crowds. And I think would be cool to see her have a longevity of a run. But the real situation you look at is this is going to be a paper transition for her. She's a transitional champion at this time, which sucks. She's put in the work for AEW.
Yeah.
But for me, it's split between two people winning because there's two storylines you can go down with it. You can have Saraya win it and have the Outcast finally regain a title. But then there's tension between them that ultimately leads to their breakup. Because let's be honest here, we're never going to get that women's blood and guts match between the Outcast and AEW Originals. We're never going to get it. And I think a lot of people were looking forward to that. I know we were talking about it, Connor. I mean, we were talking about how cool would that be, the first ever women's blood and guts match, but it's never going to happen. So they can go storyline that way. The other storyline I see is Toni Storm winning it, or not Toni Storm, DMD, Britt Baker winning it. Because you got to see it something else, long-term storytelling. Jamie Hayter. You still had a story there with Jamie Hayter and DMD possibly having a feud that was teased before they joined forces. Imagine that if DMD wins it at Wembley, brags about it, gets it going, and Hater returns and says, I know you were my friend, but you stole my thunder. This hurts the most. Now you've got a feud with those two. Hell, you can even bring Rebel back to even get involved because all three of them were all together. And then what you could do if you want to keep the Outcasts together. Sorry, this is just my
you're good.
creative
Let the
mind
wheels
knowing.
go, buddy.
Another story you can roll in is with the Outcast coming in. You get this little thing with, Jamie, Rebel, and DMD reuniting, and the Outcast sick of seeing them all together. And they're like, we need to end this once and for all. Maybe that's where you have a blow-off match with all 6 of them. In the culmination of Hater and DMD finally battling it out for the women's title, and Hater getting the title back that she technically shouldn't have never lost, but because of injury, she did. But I think you can go either way with either Saraya winning it or DMD winning it. It sucks that Sheeta's going to lose it and be a transitional situation. And let's be honest, I don't think Toni Storm is going to get that title back. She's going a whole different character route here with the distressed diva and the whole "oh woe is me" kind of thing, which is an interesting take. I actually am enjoying this new character run that she's having. But that's just my prediction for the match. It's either going to be Saraya or it's going to be DMD.
Awesome. What about you, Tank or Dusty?
I think he wrapped it up perfectly. I'm really enjoying Tony's new character, and I would like to see her win just based on the character, but I think it's too early in the character development for that to happen. I like everything he said about Britt. I think that's now hearing that, I think he just told me. You got the what's the word I'm looking for? You got the
Sorry.
words are eluding me at the moment. But yeah, no, I really like what he said about Britt there.
Yeah.
So if I jump in on Tank, I agree everything. You can go in every direction. The only reason I really would jump in is I think Sheeta takes it if I'm doing my prediction. You're right. Everything about Tony is perfect right now. This distressed, slap your tits off character is so good. You do not need the Outcasts. She needs to be alone. So separate that right the frig now. Britt already said she doesn't want the title back. She doesn't want to carry it that way. She doesn't like the responsibility of the title. She can do it without the title, is her belief. Now, of course, the paycheck probably is a little different if you carry the title. So money talks, bullshit walks. But the real thing I want to bring up is we're about to hit a groove. And I'm watching it because I'm paying attention to all of these other companies. We've got Maria May coming in pretty damn soon. And she's one hottie that knows how to fight. She's coming in pretty quick, and she's been wrestling in Japan for a while. And it would be very easy for her to come in with Sheeta to be working with these girls. And this is only leading to the one girl from Japan that I'm dying to see in AEW. We got a taste with the Willow match, but it's Julia.
Yes.
This is brilliance incarnate. The things she can do in a ring, full-grown men can't do. She looks awesome. She hits hard. And I think there's going to be a change in the wins where the Jamie Hayter hard-hitting style is what matters, and the showmanship is going to slide away for the women to really rise up from stardom.
So you'll start basically having a AEW Women's Revolution.
Mostly, Dusty, what you're saying is this whole New Japan, this whole, the New Japan style of women's wrestling coming over to the States. I mean, you're already seeing it with Io Sky as the women's champion in WWE. I mean, you just had Asuka with the title, and heck, even someone like Rhea Ripley, who's from not even from the U.S. holding a title. You're getting all these, European and all these different cultured wrestlers winning titles, and for the women's division right now in AEW, there seems to be a stalemate right now with the women's division in AEW. I mean, right now after the episode last night, now you've got Ruby Soho challenging Chris Statlander for that TBS title.
Yes, that's
That's what she was saying. She goes, I want that TBS title. She goes, I want my chance. But now you need to change it up a bit because you've got the whole, like you said, the showmanship and the sports entertainment aspect of the women's wrestling division, AEW, with people like Britt Baker, with Tony Storm, with, even someone like Thunder Rosa, they've got this whole thing. But you need those hard hitters like a Jamie Hayter, like a Julia, and hell, even Willow Nightingale's coming around to being a hard hitter. She's up there, and I think there needs to be a shock in the system of the women's division, because I read online on a group page that I agreed with the guy. I think right now the best company that has a women division is Impact. I am sorry. Nice. Impact Women's Division is killer right now. And WWE and AEW need to play catch up with that division, because that Impact Women's Division is killer right now in professional wrestling.
Masha Killer Kelly. Oh my
God.
Masha Slamovich all day.
I mean, Giselle Shaw, then you got Deanna Purrazzo, and you got Trinity over there now. Like you've got a stacked women's division over there.
And they're giving them the time.
Yes.
And
the main event spot too. Think about it. In a couple year time frame, they've main evented the pay-per-views. They've had the first ever Ultimate Women's X match, which I was there for. So there is, like I said, so they are basically showing AEW and WWE and Impact Wrestling how a women's division should be booked. And to be honest with you, I think this has lit a fire under both companies' asses, because I have seen a change in the last maybe half year to a year, where we have seen a lot better of a women's roster coming out of both companies. Like we've almost gone back almost to the point where WWE's almost got that spark we had during the women's revolution. You have you have characters that are standing out like Green. Chelsea's doing amazing. You have Rhea Ripley. That's doing great. There's Bianca Belair. You have a lot of great talent, and of course Charlotte Flair whenever she decides to show up to work. So she's trying to outdo her father in divorces. That's what she's trying to do right now. Poor Johnny. Dude, Dusty, go get your chance. It's your chance, Dusty.
I don't want Flair. I don't want anything to do with it. Talk Zelina Vega. We'll have a conversation. Sorry, Malachi.
Oh shoot! I'm more of an Io Shirai kind of guy.
Oh,
I like the Japanese talent.
Or
Asuka.
Before I jump out, I'm gonna ditch now, boys. I do want to mention in chat, Ethan, thanks for calling us out. Come on down and check us out at AEZ. Boys, it was a pleasure doing time with you here. Connor,
all right, hey.
It's
thanks
all
so much,
love. Everyone deserves their guys. I get shit on all the time from my guys. You accept it. You give it. I appreciate you. You're awesome.
All right, Dusty, thank you so much for coming on, brother. It was great talking
to you, Dusty.
Thank you, my friend up north.
See you, Dusty.
All right.
Ethan Life right there. Last one. Do you guys, I can pull it up. Do you guys think the network is reaching AEW more?
I mean, it could be 50-50. You never know. I mean, most networks are like, we want this much in the time slot. We want this much put on the air for each of the segments, and unfortunately, I mean, it's the same in any industry is, I'm someone that's like, hey, everyone deserves a chance to shine, So, I mean, you got to give the women's division at least a chance. That's why I was shocked that 2 weeks in a row they had the women's division as the main event on Dynamite, which was shocking. I didn't think they would do that 2 weeks in a row. So I think Tony Khan is starting to see that. But again, it's also, you don't want to lose the money. So maybe it's 50-50 of both the network having input on it and Tony focusing on bigger stories going on within the organization.
It's hard because there's so much talent. There's a lot of great men wrestlers and there's a lot of great female wrestlers, but unfortunately the men at the moment kind of outweigh that women's roster.
Tony,
unfortunately, you're going to go more stories towards the men. Unfortunately, it's every wrestling company, even WWE, still does it. So
Tony, if you're watching, go. I made the post. All Elite Women 1 hour weekly show on True TV. There you go.
There, perfect. Give Connor the pencil. All right, so I think, like I said, Soraya I think is going to win this match. Did anybody else? Everybody have a chance to give their prediction on that one?
I haven't gone yet. Well,
Yeah, I did.
I've got Soraya winning. It seems like, I hate to say it, she does sound like a transitional champion. I hate to say it. They didn't want to have the Outcast break up, so because I feel like the original match is going to be Soraya and Jamie Hayter. That's what they was building towards for All In, but of course, injury that can't happen. So they had to get the title off of Toni Storm to put it on Soraya. So they have Sheeta win, then, and it makes for a good story because Soraya had to retire to a career-ending injury, and I'm pretty sure she thought she never would wrestle again. Then get to come back, challenge for a title, but not only for a world title, but in her home country where her brother's going to be there, her family's going to be there, from 80,000 people. So I've got Soraya.
All right. Next is the match that I am salivating over. Probably going to have, a certain Uncle Dave cream over in his pants. We have the AEW World Tag Championship. This is going to be a star-breaking, in Dave Meltzer's mind, we're going to have a star-breaking match. FTR versus Young Bucks 3. Well, I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be a 5-star. I think most websites, positive or negative opinions, I think it'll be a 5-star match. These guys have not failed yet to disappoint me. I think this might be the best FTR and Bucks match. I have high expectations for this one going into it. Winning wise, I think FTR has got to stay champions. I feel like they have a dominant run. They need to keep it going.
Yeah, and I think regardless of the situation going on with Cash, I think you shouldn't fault him for it to take the titles off him and Dax. I mean, again, if you've read the reports on it, because I've been following it since the news broke about Cash's arrest, and it was a road rage incident. It was just bad timing, and apparently it was his first ever incident of any charges. He's never had a criminal record, so it was his first time getting in trouble for anything like that. According to reports, he was very respectful, and he was working alongside the police. He said, "Yeah, whatever you guys need me to do, it's fine. Let's work this out." And if everybody reads, they had no problem with him traveling. They didn't take away his visa, so he could travel. He could still do shows. He showed up on Dynamite, So it's obviously he doesn't have issues with his traveling within the states. I doubt they're going to have issues with him traveling outside of the country. So I do see this as probably one of the better matches between these two teams. I have FTR retaining, and hopefully they do, regardless of what the Wheeler situation is. I mean, you look at people like the Usos. Jimmy's had 7 arrests for
only
DUIs.
7 DUIs.
Only 7 DUIs, and Jay has been in trouble with the law before, yet they were the longest reigning tag champions in WWE history, and they get rewarded for that. So hopefully Tony looks at this and be like, slap on the wrist, don't do it again. That's my warning. Just, you guys can hold the titles, just don't get into trouble again. So, and I think looking at it, the way that Cash and Dax present themselves, not only as their personas, but also in person, I feel like they're good guys.
Yes.
And just mistakes happen in life. And so, but again, to go back to the match, I think this is going to be probably one of the top 3 matches of the night. It's definitely going to be a 5-star match. Dave Meltzer is going to lose his shit over it. He might even divorce his wife if he has one and marry the Bucks. But I think I think this is going to be a banger of a tag match. This is going to be on comparison of a Briscoes and a Bucks match, and honestly, I hope that's what it does. It kind of has that kind of feel of a Briscoes versus any tag team match in Ring of Honor in front of 80,000 people.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Like, this is well deserved for sure. I'm excited.
Like to comment, Jess. Yeah, if anyone didn't know, Tank, I've listened to some of his songs. They were actually pretty good. I definitely recommend checking out Tank's music.
Watch, Tank's gonna sing the theme song and All In.
Yeah, no problem, my man. I'll do Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America, all of the above. We'll do hip hop remixes of it all. But you know what's
remix of O Canada, please.
I actually, you know what? I'm glad that Adam brought up the points that he did, because I didn't know anything that was going on with Cash outside of the fact that he got arrested.
Yeah.
And when he showed up on Dynamite, I was like, what? I don't understand, because it sounded like it was a little more serious. And now that Adam's shedding some light on it, it's obviously not that serious. But to be completely honest, I've been a Bucks guy from when I got into PWG. They made me pop. They've always made me pop. Sorry if this is gonna rub some people the wrong way, but I am 100% a Bucks mark.
Let's go
all day. So I definitely want them to win it. I don't know if they will or not. I thought they were gonna take the belts off of FTR because of what's going on with that, but now I don't think that that's the case either. But yeah, so I'm actually going to make that my last comment for tonight myself. I've got my dog over here needing to go outside, so I'm going to head out. Yeah, if anybody wants to check me out, I'm on YouTube under Tank Diggs. I got a bunch of music there. I got some music on Spotify. And yeah, man, I'd love to drop in on you guys again and shoot it with you guys some more.
All right. Hey, Tank, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to finally meet you in person. We appreciate you coming on Talking Elite tonight, and I hope we could do another crossover episode. And you guys are always open to join us on Talking Elite any Thursday. Just let us know and come on out, all right?
And Tank, I actually just subscribed to your YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome, boys. Awesome.
More boys
Enjoy.
in love.
I hope you like it.
All right. Thanks, Tank. You're the best, man. Thanks for coming out.
And to remind everyone, you can check Tank and Dusty every Saturday at 2 p.m. on AEZ Canada.
We need to invade that show.
Yes, can we? Yes. Talking Elite invades the CWL. Let's go.
Because
I love it.
Everyone's gonna be popping in, but that was really good.
This has actually been one of my favorite. Before we kind of continue the and wind down the episode, man, this has been one of the best Talking Elite episodes I think we've had in a long time, or the best one. Period. You know, this is probably one of my favorites. Just with the people we had on, we had crossovers, we had run-ins. Like, seriously, this has been a great night and a great show. So we hope you guys in the comment section are enjoying this as well. So, man, it's awesome. We're going to go to the comment section here real quick. Shrimp Sushi, one of my good friends. Thank you so much for listening, Shrimp. Miss you, brother. Shout out to you, man. Hope you're enjoying the show. Man, you just missed a whole huge long debate. So after the show, go back and watch it, because Connor and Dusty had probably one of the best debates on the show about CM Punk. It was amazing. It was epic. And we should try to clip it and post it on the channel separately, if Connor is okay with that. Because I think it was great. Yeah. It literally was great content.
Yeah.
Then
Jess, there's no hard feelings to anyone. Just like me and Wayne, there's no. It's all. It's just wrestling, you know. It's not.
Yeah, it's just wrestling.
We don't hate each other. I promise you, we don't.
But Connor, it's still real to me. Damn it!
Kayfabe is alive.
Kayfabe is still there.
Okay.
That Hulk Hogan's okay, man. You know, he became a good guy again. He's still the All-American. I still take my vitamins and drink my milk. Even after, he joined the NWO, I'm still like milk and vitamins.
Jess, AZ Canada, the ones we saw, Dusty and Tank, they're normally on AZ Canada, but they hop in to take over, or I'd say invade.
That was an invasion.
But there'll be you can check out AZ Canada every Saturday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's where and it's on this channel too. So that's when you can catch AZ Canada.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now I am giving a shout out to our good friend Chris Downs. I am dedicating this next phrase to him.
God bless.
Everybody, say it with me in the chat, and if you on the panel, if you guys want to say it with me, it's time for the main events. We have probably one of the best storylines coming to a head at Wembley freaking Stadium. We have Adam Cole, baby, versus I'm Better Than You, and you know it, MJF, the bromance of the century, is about to throw down in probably one of the best Dynamite and Collision storylines going into a pay-per-view this year. Like, I would even say it's better than what's been happening recently with Jumping the Shark with our good friends over at WWE with the Bloodline. I feel like this story literally is beating the Bloodline story, at least recently. So, biggest story in professional wrestling, Adam Cole, MJF going down with a kangaroo kick. What's going down? Who's walking out Wembley world champion? And are we gonna have a new faction form that night? So, who wants to go first and closing? Who wants to go first with this final match?
I'll go. Yeah. So, yeah, Adam Cole. I want to see Adam Cole win, baby. I want to see him get that gold. He's been a phenomenal world champion everywhere he's been. It's time that he carries that AEW banner. But, you know, the storyteller in me, yeah, I agree. This is one of the best stories that's been told recently. And MJF, in my opinion, is one of the greatest storytellers in professional wrestling right now. So I can't wait to see what's created this Sunday. And it's so multi-dimensional with the tag team match in the beginning, and how's that going to build to the main event, and then how's the main event going to build to the pay-per-view next week. I mean, there's so many possibilities, but I know one thing for sure, that they are going to elevate that match to, I think, to a place we haven't seen ever, or at least for a long time.
Wow, that's a lot. I agree with you on that, Zach. It's gonna be a memorable match for sure. I feel like this could be where Hogan and Andre was. You know, I feel like it's gonna hold that memorable first time big stadium match feel. So, yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a really great match. Connor, Adam, like, what's your guys' thoughts heading into this match? Do you guys think that we're gonna have a new champion, or do you think MJF is going to retain?
Very hard to tell. Again, you could go any direction with this story depending on who the champion is. Obviously, I'd love to see MJF retain, just because I've been loving his little turn as the face champion. Because you need that face champion right now, and as much as I love the Punk storyline of being the real champion, I think you could set that up for a head-to-head with Punk and MJF, you know, and have MJF show up on a Collision and go, dude, listen, you're not the real champion. I'm holding the Triple B. You're not. And then, you know, have that blow-off match that was supposed to happen before, you know, the whole media scrum thing, and have MJF, you know, go over Punk, finally declaring himself, you know, the official champion. And, you know, but then with that, where do you go with Adam Cole? You know, Adam Cole has now had 4 opportunities at the four opportunities, twice with Hangman, and now it'll be twice with MJF. So where do you go with Adam Cole? Maybe you do have him turn heel, make a stable with Roderick and the Kingdom, and have them have like a kind of a new faction there, and kind of target MJF while he's still in his feud with Punk over the real championship. Or you could do a complete surprised everybody and have Adam Cole win the title at Wembley and finally beat down MJF and have Roderick and like Connor said, maybe Kyle comes back and the Kingdom come and they beat up MJF and they all turn heel and they're a new stable that that Cole is in charge of. It's like undisputed kingdom or something like that. And
Shock the
yeah,
Kingdom.
Shock the Kingdom.
Yes.
But you can have that. So you have so many storylines you can go with it. So that's why this main event, for me, I'm gonna bow out and not actually call an official winner because I don't know who is gonna win. I think this is the first time in predictions history where someone's like, I can't predict who wins, so I'm out of calling who's going to win it. But I'm just giving my thoughts on the different stories you can go depending on the outcome. So for me, I'm bowing out and not predicting a winner right now. So I'm just going to go in and enjoy the match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a good match for sure. That's definitely an understatement. That's not going to be. It's going to be a good match.
It's hard, because I would love to see Adam Cole as AEW World Champion, but I think MJF still has a lot more to write in his first reign.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be the most of many, but you got to find a great way to cap off one of the best championship runs, and to cement that legacy. I think MJF has to win this match. I think he has to win. I think he has to hold it all the way until Full Gear, at least, if not until Revolution next year. And I've said that plenty of times on the show, but MJF, there's a lot you can tell with the story, and now he's literally playing babyface, and it's refreshing because he's still a heel, but he's playing into the fan responses, the enjoyment. Like I'm really enjoying this, and I think it's too late to pull the plug on MJF's championship run. I think he has to retain. So that's why I'm going with MJF on this one. I would love to see Adam Cole, but Cole, I don't think it's his time yet. I think he could be one to defeat MJF, but I think it's got to be until either Full Gear or till next year.
Yeah, and I was reading an article today. I can't remember where, but I think it was like WrestlingInc.com, and they were talking about the story between the two, and they were saying that Adam Cole is a babyface but has the heel tendencies, where MJF should be the heel, but he's slowly turning into the babyface. So it's like it's it's almost like a Bret Hart Steve Austin thing.
Yes.
Where you've got someone who's hated like Stone Cold but still has those face qualities, and then you have someone who's a hero like Bret Hart but suddenly leans into a heel. So you kind of have that going on with MJF and Adam Cole. I'm all for it. So honestly, this match, I think everyone's excited for. I think this is the right main event to do at the time for Wembley.
Yes.
I anybody else in the main event against MJF for the title, because again they had the whole thing going on with Punk and his story with Joe and the real championship. I mean, Wardlow would have been a good suggestion based on the history with him and MJF, but with this situation with him, so I think this main event was the right call, and I think it's going to be a great match. I honestly see this going about 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great match. It's probably gonna be one of the best ways to cap off a pay-per-view of the year. I think it'll surpass Roman and Cody.
Yeah.
That's a
For
bold
sure.
statement. That was a great main event at Mania. That was worth all the hours of Mania. But I think this will surpass it. I think more people will be talking about how great MJF and Adam Cole is after this match. I think people will stop ignoring Adam Cole's size. I think people will say, "Oh shit!" Like he's actually, I know he's talented, but man, he looks great in this match. He's actually a threat for any company.
I think in this match, as I said many times, I've predicted every AEW World Champion correctly in the order. I like don't know how. Like that's the only title I've been able to predict correctly. I think MJF wins, but whenever MJF does lose, Adam Cole will be your new champion. I think Adam Cole will be AEW World Champion. I don't know if it's going to be at All In, but I really don't want to see MJF lose. I really don't. I think there's a little bit more you can tell with MJF. Like he could honestly do better than what Roman Reigns is doing right now. Like if you take Roman out, put MJF, I think MJF could do it a lot better. I don't think they're going to go that far with it. Like they're not going to go 1,000 days for MJF, but the match is going to be very, very good. It's going to be hard to tell what's going to be the best match of the night because you got so many matches that could be the match of the night. But for this match, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm just going to say that. Damn. It's like MJF wins, but your next world champion will be Adam Cole.
All right. Well, this was a great episode, guys.
Yeah.
Man, I hope this gets guys pumped up for Wembley. I know I'm excited for Saturday, even though it's going to be in the middle of the afternoon. Hey, but we can literally have like 8 hours of wrestling between Collision and Wembley tomorrow on Saturday. So we win as fans. We win as fans this week for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching Road to Wembley Stadium. I want to say thank you to everybody in the comment section for coming out to this historic Talking Elite, our first ever AEZ Canadian run-in.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun to have both Tank and Dusty on. So make sure you guys check them out on Saturday at 2 p.m. for Talking Elite Z. We're Talking Elite Canada. So they put on some killer shows. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you guys come out for that. Make sure you also come out for our watch-alongs. We do them usually every Dynamite, every Rampage, every Collision, where we just shoot the shit and talk with everybody that listens and watches. It becomes a really great episode. We talk everything from modern wrestling to the past to video games to music to just joking around, having a good time. So come out for our watch-alongs. Make sure you hit the bell down below when we do go live for those watch-alongs, and make sure you guys hit subscribe as well. We are trying to get more subscribers. The more subscribers we get, the higher chance we can have some guests on our podcast from all around the wrestling business. So we'd like to thank you guys all for all the support, all the love. Thank you, Jess, Davis. It's always a pleasure to see you guys commenting. Shrimp, of course. It's always a pleasure to have one of my closest friends in real life on. Ethan, awesome to see you, brother. Oliver, good to see you. Ariana, thank you for coming out again. You're awesome. Eduardo, thank you so much for commenting. It's been great to see you back. Jason, of course, man, you have a lot of great points as well. So thank you to all of our listeners tonight. Make sure you guys share this video down below. Get people excited for our awesome Saturday pay-per-view. Connor, is there any announcements you need to make?
There was one comment way up here in the beginning. Totally forgot about. We got a lot of comments tonight.
Yeah, this is our most commented. I think this is our most commented Talking Elite and the most watched live.
Probably.
So, I think we had 9 people total at one time.
Saga Vega. All I gotta say is all I'm gonna say is follow our Facebook and Twitter. You'll find that you'll find the news on that in a few days maybe.
Awesome! Can't wait to get some news on that. Yeah. Ever since Twitter became, D-Generation X, make sure you guys go follow us on that. Gordon, we appreciate the love, brother. We sent it right back. It seriously has been my favorite episode of Talking Elite. So thank you so much. So I'm going to make 2 announcements here on Talking Elite before we sign off for the night. The first one is next week's episode, we were going to do a WWE shakeup on gimmicks, but due to, unfortunately, the timing of having Bray Wyatt pass away, next week we are going to do a special spotlight on the life of Bray Wyatt. So make sure you come on out to that. We'll talk our favorite matches, moments, everything from Husky Harris to the Wyatt family to the Fiend. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of different, opinions for sure. So I am super excited to and saddened that we have to do it in that way. But we are going to be honoring Bray Wyatt next week, so make sure you guys come on out for that. And let's share some love for the Wyndham family, because right now with the loss, they are needing it. Bray Wyatt did pass away today, if you guys didn't hear, and unfortunately it was due to COVID. Basically, it caused some damage to his heart, and he ended up having a heart attack. So they officially made that statement. So we want to send all of our love, prayers out to the Wyndham family. We are so sorry for your loss. Bray was one of the best characters in modern pro wrestling, and I think he'll be going down as one of the greatest characters of all. So thank you, Bray, for everything you did for the wrestling community, everything you've done, and rest easy, buddy. So. And then the next thing is, it is official. September will be the dark side of the All Elite Zone. Talking Elite will be having, inspired by one of our favorite documentary series, Dark Side of the Ring. We will be doing a 5-week episodic podcast, all on different topics. The first topic is going to be the cost of fame. It's all about Sunny.
Uh-oh.
So we got some fun ideas that we're bouncing around on either individuals or groups, that we could talk about. So it's going to be a very fun podcast. Adam is the one that came up with the idea. So Adam, thank you so much. I know that you are a huge wrestling historian, so thank you for the idea. I think it's going to be one of the best things that we've done for the channel. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Tonight, I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening. Gordon loves Adam's look, so he does look pretty fresh. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Talking Elite tonight. Thank you to my panel. Thank you, Connor. It's always a pleasure to have you on. I know you're the owner of the show, but it's always great to talk to you. Zach, welcome back, buddy. We missed having you on. Cannot wait to talk some Dark Side of the Rings with you. It's always a pleasure to have my friend.
Pleasure's all mine, guys. Thank you so much.
And then, of course, my Bubba to my Devon, Adam. Thank you so much for coming out, man. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. You got some of the best insights on the show.
I do. I love doing this show, whether it's this full panel here or Lane, you and I doing a show. I love doing this show, man. So I love talking history of pro wrestling, man. So.
Also, shout out to Dusty and Tank for making their run-ins tonight. We're going to try to have them on more because this was not some of it was planned, but not planned. So we're going to try to have them on here as much as we can as well. It's been great to have them on as for Talking Elite and also on their Canada show. So if there's nothing else to be said, I think it's time, Adam. I think it's time you send us off with your best catchphrase. Send us home, Adam.
And always to everybody, and good night.